Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Well-being, also commemorating United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, Viksit Bharat at 2047. Before we start today's sessions and commemorations, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are celebrating and commemorating World Marbles Day, which is observed every year on Good Friday, and this year it will be held on April 18. This commemorates the first British Marbles Championship that took place in England in 1588, competing for the hand of Milk Maiden in Tinsley Green. Two young suitors engaged in a contest of marbles to decide who would win her fair hand. Ever since, the game of marbles have been morphed into an annual championship that even after several centuries still takes place in Tinsley Green, England. Now teams from other parts of the world travel to England to participate in the game. Today is also commemorated as World Amateur Radio Day, which happens every year on April 18. Amateur radio, commonly referred to as ham radio, makes use of radio frequency spectrum for non-commercial purposes, such as exchanging messages, private recreation, emergency communication, wireless experimentation, and self-training. Federal Communications Commission, FCC, and the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, assign radio frequencies to amateur radio services in US. These frequencies are used by amateur radio operators to interact with similar people via two-way personal communication. The ITU is responsible for all matters related to information and communication technologies. The transmission, technical and operational characteristics are regulated by national governments that issue licenses with unique characteristics are regulated by the national governments. Identifying call signs to individual stations. These call signs must be used in all transmissions. So amateur radio service was established by the ITU, a special agency of the United Nations, formed on May 17, 1865. HAMS is another term for amateur radio operators. The term ham was initially used as a derogatory moniker for amateur radio operators by operators in the commercial and professional radio communities in 1909. The term was quickly adopted by the operators and became ingrained in their lexicon. The phrase, however, did not become widely used in the United States until around 1920, after which it gradually spread to other English-speaking countries. International Amateur Radio Union, IARU, was formed by the amateur radio pioneers in Paris on April 18, 1925, to support amateur radio worldwide. It was first discovered by amateur radio experiments that the short wave spectrum could support worldwide propagation. The IARU noted that in the race to exploit these shorter wavelengths, amateur radio was at great risk of being punished aside. Since its inception, the IARU has worked relentlessly to safeguard and increase amateur radio frequency allocations. Radio amateurs can now experiment and communicate in frequency bands strategically positioned throughout the radio spectrum, thanks to the help of enlightened administrators all over the world. The IARU has explained from 25 countries upon its founding in 1925 to 160 member societies in three regions. Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and the North Asia are all part of IARU Region 1. Region 2 includes Americas, while Region 3 includes Australia, New Zealand, and Pacific Island nations, and the majority of Asia. The ITU has recognized the IARU as representing amateur radio's interests. Ham radios are most popular in 1970s. The term ham was a derogative nickname for the radio amateurs, but it has been since accepted by them. People use amateur radio to communicate across town, over the world, and even into space, all without the use of cell phones or the internet. Amateur radio is not as popular as it ought to be. Do more research about it. After doing research, spread the knowledge this could get you a listening buddy or might even succeed in convincing someone to join amateur radio. There are apps available on both iOS and Android that let you listen to them. Try some today. WLW is the most powerful radio station ever. The world's first voice message was transmitted by Reginald Fessenden in 1900. So radio scientists did the first public radio broadcast from the top of Eiffel Tower. Many birds are killed by radio antennas every year. There is a popular belief that radio waves will continue to travel faster. Sometimes, thanks to the amateur radio, we get first-hand reliable information about a local emergency, which can save lives. Television news can be slow and social media can be full of misinformation, but amateur radio is often reliable. Amateur radio is a tremendous social activity. Radio amateurs often come together for different social events and radio meetups. The best being is that these gatherings are available both offline and online. They are not just limited to radio amateurs alone. Anyone living near the gathering can participate. World Amateur Radio Day is also a day for radio amateurs to show their skills to the world. Amateurs of different regions come together to celebrate with one another. Today is also commemorated as International Jugglers Day, which is observed on April 18th every year. The day honors the art of juggling and its many accomplished practitioners. If you are looking for a way to have fun with various things, you might consider learning how to juggle them. Toss juggling is most well-known kind of juggling. Juggling may be done with one or more hands, and one can do it with one or several items at a time. Many jugglers refers to the things they juggle as props. Props like balls, clubs, and rings are quite prevalent. Knives, flaming torches, and chainsaws are some of the most dramatic props used by jugglers. Today is also commemorated as International Day for Monuments and Sites. The International Day for Monuments and Sites is observed on April 18th all over the world. Every year, the goal is to raise awareness of the cultural heritage diversity, the vulnerability of sites and monuments, and the measures needed to maintain and conserve them. Every year, the International Council of Monuments and Sites, ICOMOS, sets a theme for initiative organized by its members, national and international committees. And anyone else interested in commemorating this day, the organization invites participants to focus on contentious and complex narratives about cultural heritage to encourage the development of new discourses based on respectful and inclusive approach, addressing erroneous of contentious historical interpretations appears to be critical to preserving our heritage, given that The deterioration or extinction of any cultural property, as stated by the UNESCO 1954 and 1972 treaties, cause harm to mankind as a the International Day for Monuments and Sites was developed by ICOMOS in 1982 and was later adopted by UNESCO during its 22nd General Conference. ICOMOS suggests a theme for activities to be arranged by its members. ICOMOS national and international scientific committees, working groups, and partners, as well as anybody else who wants to participate in commemorating the day, cultural heritage conservation necessitates both a critical evaluation of the past and commitment to the future in recent years. Debates concerning the deletion and erasure of some narratives, as well as the prioritization of certain stories over others, have heated up. As a result, dealing with contentious history necessitates lengthy discussions to avoid skewed perspectives and interpretations of the past. The deterioration of extinction of any item of cultural or natural heritage represents a damaging impoverishment of the legacy of all nations of the world, according to the World Heritage Convention in 1972. However, there are still disparities in the recognition, interpretation, and ultimately conservation of various cultural manifestations. The International Day of Monuments and Sites, on the other hand, took place in 2001 with the theme Save Our Historic Villages. Organizations such as United Nations, Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, in short UNESCO, support the day. There are a variety of activities taken on all across the world on this day. This comprises a variety of activities as well as conferences and excursions to historical places and monuments for the uninitiated. A heritage site is essentially culturally significant location. It protects a societies or a group of intangible and physical artifacts that have been passed down through the generations. Today is also commemorated as Pet Owners Independence Day, which is celebrated on April 18th each year. This day aims to flip the script of the traditional role of pet owners as breadwinners. On this day, all participating pet parents create the opportunity to lounge at home while their pets try their pass at work. They are admitted some logistical issues with that idea. It is unfathomable to imagine a hamster managing company, accounting, or a cat defending a case in court, but it does serve as a wonderful thought exercise for tired pet owners longing for a break. Humans have had pets for thousands of years. In fact, archaeology suggests a period of 12,000 years, and it an agreed upon fact that the dogs were the first animals to be kept as pets by humans. Ancient Greeks and Romans were known to openly mourn the loss of dog, transcribed in tombstones for their lost companions. Ancient Egyptians kept dogs and baboons as pets, often named and buried them with their owners. Day is also commemorated as National Pinata Day in Mexico, which is observed on April 18th each year. No one on this planet doesn't love candy. You don't have to stop at just one sweet. Instead, go ahead and shatter a colorful candy container known as pinata to get as much candy as possible. Your birthday party and other celebrations would not have been successful without colorfully designed pinata containers. Those who haven't yet attempted to open a paper mackey donkey may do so on this national pinata. Today is also commemorated as National Velociraptor Awareness Day. Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park films turned raptors into legitimate Hollywood superstars during the early 90s. National Velociraptor Awareness Day on April 18 gives us a reason to once again ponder this creature that roamed the earth 70 million years ago. So whether they roamed the earth or were just movie magic, Velociraptors continue to captivate imagination on April 18th every year. We often overlook raptors, unlike those in films, didn't stand over 7 feet tall. They were roughly 6.5 feet long and measured less than 2 feet at the hip, but they did have some frightening hips. They also had feathers and wings. In reality, they sort of resembled turkey dinosaurs. Still, the filmmakers were onto something. So that's because the production on Jurassic Park began before the 1991 discovery of the so-called Utahraptor skeleton, measuring 5.5 feet tall, the largest at that time. Said one film designer, we designed it, we built it, and then they discovered this still boggles my mind. So velociraptors roamed the earth about 85.8 million to 70.6 million years ago. During the end of Cretaceous period, the name Velociraptor was bestowed upon the dinosaur in 1924 by then President of American Museum of Natural History, Henry Fairfield Osborn. The name was Latin originals, velox meaning swift, and the raptor meaning plunderer. Earlier in the same year, the dinosaur was referred to as Oviraptor gechotri in an article, but the name was never mentioned in scientific journal. So Velociraptor became the accepted name. Today is also commemorated as National Newspaper Columnist Day, which is observed on April 18th every year. This celebration aims to honor the work of columnist. A columnist is a person who produces written work to be published in a series of generally offering commentary and opinions on current events or topics such as love, relationships, and careers. Communists have columnists have different personalities, which is determined in their written work. Some columnists lighten the mood or play a role with their flavor of humor or satire. Others provide different perspectives and hard facts based on solid research. Whatever their personality or style, each communist's hard work connects them to the people. Today is also commemorated as National Exercise Day, which is celebrated on April 18th every year. It's a day to encourage everyone to participate in physical activities. Exercise enhances our great general health by giving us more energy, making us feel better, and even extending our lives by years. Regular physical activity and exercise have several health benefits that are impossible to overlook. Everyone, regardless of age, gender, or physical ability, benefits from exercise. Unfortunately, despite how important exercising is, only a few individuals are dedicated to it. National Exercise Day is a day to encourage and motivate people to exercise with the aim that it will be start of new habit for everyone. So ancient Greece is the most well-known figure in fitness history, yet general fitness is thought to have played a part in virtually every significant civilization throughout history. The history of fitness and exercise in all of its incarnation have been prevalent over time and place, from the early birth of yoga in ancient India to the intense mob football sports of medieval Europe. Yoga in the earliest type of exercise that has been documented dating back to 300 BC in India. The mind-body discipline has taken on many different shapes since its origin. So through spiritual and or mental health has dominated the history of yoga. Other varieties such as Hatha Yoga has also stressed physical well-being. Since ancient times, people have understood that exercise has several health benefits, and is exercise alone that supports the spirits and keeps the mind in strength. Observed Marcus Cicero, a Roman politician and lawyer, in 65 BC. Later in history, during the early Middle Ages, Northern European Germanic peoples saw exercise as a means of survival. Jerry Morris headed a team that was discovered the link between exercise and physical health in 1949 and published a report on it in 1953. Dr. Morris discovered that the men of similar occupations and social classes had significantly different rates of heart attacks Depending on the amount of exercise they received, bus drivers had a job that required a lot of sitting, so that they had a higher rate of heart disease, whereas bus conductors had a lower rate of heart disease. Today is also commemorated as National Animal Cracker Day in US. Animal crackers are arguably one of the best recognized food products on the planet today. Who knew that the little menagerie of zoo and circus creatures that delighted us as children would later become one of our fondest childhood memories and a simple guilty pleasure for us as adults? Animal crackers have been part of American childhood memories since the late 1800s when they were first imported from England, where animal crackers were invented. When recipes for the popular animal shaped biscuits made their way to America, independent bakers began baking up herds of animals in meat growing demand. The stampede of animal crackers out of grocery cracker barrels into American shopping baskets was very well underway when Stouffer's Biscuit Company began commercially producing their original recipe. Circus crackers in 1871. Stauffer's unique baking process created a slightly sweet, crispy cracker like biscuit that dominated the growing animal cracker category for years. Then in 1902, the big competition arrived that transformed the animal cracker industry forever. Whether you prefer the crispy biscuit like crackers or the sweetener, softer cookie like variety, on National Animal Crackers Day, we are of the notion that more animals in the parade, the merrier. We are not sure exactly when animal crackers were first commemorated with their own special date on calendar, but National Animal Crackers Day, we are all in and all about animal crackers on parade. Today is also commemorated as Lineman Appreciation Day in US. Linemen and women work on power or phone lines, keeping the current flowing in our homes and businesses. It's a dangerous job. After 2012's Hurricane Sandy, the 113th Congress passed a bill designating April 18th as National Lineman Appreciation. This bill became law in 2013. All linemen wear personal protective equipment that includes rubber gloves, rubber sleeves, flame-resistant clothing, and bucket liners. A line worker apprentice take part in a 4-year training program before becoming a journey line worker. Over 67,000 linemen responded to Hurricane Sandy in 2012. There are approximately 1,15,000 linemen in the US alone. Think about going without power for just a one day. Linemen work behind or actually above the scene so that we can keep our lives moving. Dealing with high voltage electrical wires at great heights is dangerous. Linemen are brave enough to get the job done. They work tirelessly, often during odd hours away from their families to address electrical problems. Today is also commemorated as Good Friday, the death of Jesus on Calvary, the site outside the walls of Jerusalem where Jesus was crucified. It falls on Friday before Easter for 2025, the April 18th. Most Christian denominations recognize Good Friday as a holy day, with many, including members of Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, and Lutheran faiths, fasting, attending a church services. But there is so much more to this day than just these religious rituals. Good Friday is for so many an intensely personal day of prayer and devotion. Today is also commemorated as Adult Autism Awareness Day, which is observed by autistic adults and their loved ones each year on April 18. Autism, also known as autism spectrum disorder, can be identified as a broad range of conditions that are characterized by challenges pertaining to social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication. Statistics show that in the United States, autism affects an estimated 1 in 54 children today. It is important to realize that there is no one type of autism. These conditions are often individualistic. Adults with autism are also significant contributors to fields of arts, commerce, science, and more. The day hopes to make life more convenient for autistic adults. Show your support to those who are close to you and guide them towards resources that are valuable for them. Today is also commemorated as National Dance Week from April 18 to 27 in US. Dance was an important part of the oral and performance methods of passing stories down from one generation to the next before the invention of written language. This week is specially set aside to spread the delight and joys of dancing and to create awareness about its impact and benefits. Dancing is a performing art that consists of sequences of movement that are either improvised or purposefully selected. This movement has aesthetic and often symbolic value and is performed to express happy emotions. Early dance dates back to 3300 BC from the depiction of dancing figures on Egyptian tombs and the discovery of 9,000-year-old paintings in India at the rock shelters of Bhimbekta. Reference to dance can also be found in very early recorded history. Dance is generally not exclusively performed with accompaniment of music and may or may not be performed in time to such music. So National Dance Week was founded in 1981 by a group of dance-related organizations to increase awareness about dance and its contribution to our national culture and bring greater recognition to it as an art form. The week is sponsored by the United Dance Merchants of America to increase public awareness and appreciation of various forms of dance. Over the years, the organization's dedication to its founding mission has inspired the events and initiatives taking place throughout the year. These reflect the unique and creative abilities of the individuals and organizations who participate, encourage, and take the lead in an array of events and initiatives to celebrate dance in several unique ways. Today is also commemorated as National and Global Youth Service Days from April 18 to 20 in US, which is an annual event observed on the second last weekend of April. The day usually starts on Friday and ends on Sunday. It is a day that originated in the US and was known as the National Youth Service Day. Presently, more than 100 countries participate in this day, making its largest annual celebration of youth volunteers. The day is now known as Global Youth Service Day. Millions of young people from all over the world spend this day in service of their community and nation. Today is also commemorated as Health Information Professionals Week from April 18 to 24 in US. Before we dive into why of this week, it's important to know who exactly a health information professional is. Just in case there is some confusion, a health information professional or health information manager is a person whose job is to manage all health information and data relating to a patient in order to ensure that everything is accurate, updated, secure, and accessible. And they are like a liaison between medical physicians and patient and any third party who might require that information. Health information professionals are most trusted people because they handle so much sensitive information about an individual, so that responsibility on their shoulders is definitely huge. Health Information Professionals Week was first founded by the American Health Information Management Association, in short known as AHIMA, in 1990, and 2021 was the year that marked 32 years of HLPB being observed. The aim of founding this week was to spread awareness about the importance of the work that health professionals health information professionals or managers do and how they contribute to the social health care and medical ecosystems. According to the AIMA, the motto and the aim of Health Information Professional Week are to keep health information human. Hence, it is a great way to recognize and celebrate all the health information professionals invest in and do to ensure that patients' information is secure and they receive the highest quality care. The official website shares many testimonials around this and honors health information professionals in various ways in order to understand where health information professionals fit into the bigger picture of the healthcare system. It's worthwhile tracing the origin of health information management as a professional career path. The health information management HIM profession dates back to 1928 with the establishment of Association of Record Librarians of North America, ARLNA, as a subset of American College of Surgeons, ACS. The reason this was formed was to elevate the standards of clinical records in hospital and other medical institutions. Today's global campaign for Educational Action Week from April 18 to 24, which is usually takes place in the last week in April of every year, usually involves discussions around making formal education more accessible globally. It is a global campaign led by UNESCO and top NGOs dedicated to prioritization of formal education in all countries of the world where it is to ensure inclusive, equitable, quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. To observe this day, take action for your education by listing and getting information to help secure funds for your better future. This week is also commemorated as Fibroid Awareness Week in US. Fibroid Awareness Week is observed from April 18 to 24 annually. It is a week to show support for all women who suffer from fibroids. The purpose of this commemoration is to raise awareness about a widespread about the little discussed health concern that affects 20 to 80% of women by the age of 50. Fibroids do not affect all women, but those who do may have experienced pain, pressure on the bladder, frequent urination, or even a bloated abdomen. Age, family history, ethnic origin, obesity, and eating habits, such as consuming too much red meat, are all risk factors. But fibroids, consuming a lot of green vegetables, is linked to a lower incidence of fibroids. So today is also commemorated as Cleaning for a Reason Week from April 18 to 24th in the US. If you are searching for a philanthropic cause in cleaning profession, consider participating in Cleaning for a Reason Week, which runs from April 18 to 24th. Cleaning for a Reason, an ISSA charity's hallmark initiative that offers clean homes for cancer patients, is gearing up for the annual Cleaning for a Reason Week. The week-long philanthropic event seeks to generate cash and promote awareness of its goal to grow its recruiting efforts in collaborating with home cleaning firms and reach more cancer patients and develop new fundraising initiatives with ISSA member companies. Every month, Cleaning for a Reason receives over 1,400 service requests. It partners with business around the country and in Canada to give cancer sufferers one complimentary cleaning every month for 4 months, while the firms which are required to be insured and undertake background checks on their personnel do not charge the ladies for their services. Their employees are compensated. For individuals living in the United States or Canada, Cleaning for a Reason partners provide 2 monthly professional cleanings for match patient. Any man, woman, or kid receiving active cancer treatment or hospice care is eligible for free services. Residential cleaning firms are urged to become partners and provide these services for cancer patients in their areas during Cleaning for a Reason week. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us and being part of these commemorations. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which has been shared in the form of polls before leaving the platform. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.